It's obvious when looking at a cat that it has some kind of inner sense of divinity. It's definitely not a domestic animal despite spending so much time in our homes. It's like being a biological organism for them is only a technical aspect of being on Earth. It seems that the more we care for a cat, the more it feels privileged, as if it had some kind of God-given rights to be taken care of by us. Unlike dogs, cats are not willing to offer much more than their pretentious presence. They will occasionally break the rules of loyalty to us or disobey us just to test the limits of our patience. Cats have this mystic aura of confidence and entitlement around them, yet at the same time they're being emotionally honest and open about everything they experience. It seems like the cat knows some important secrets and is absolutely not interested in sharing them with us. Maybe that's why we're so impressed by their cleanliness, elegance, self-control, the relaxed attitude, even their crazily flexible body, allowing them to be meditation and yoga experts. It seems cats have a lot we would want to possess ourselves. It's not easy being friends with a cat. It takes a long time to build friendship and it is never stable. It's actually the cat that chooses us, not the other way around. As you could have seen from the recent survey, I have a long list of important videos to make. I will need your financial support to do it, so head over to sponsor.b434.com for the list of all available donation methods. There is PayPal, Cash App, bank and crypto transfers. You can become a member of Patreon or Subscribestar, or you can schedule a chat or buy merchandise. All links in the video description. Thank you for your help. For some strange reason, my life has been filled with cats from the moment I came to Earth. I grew up in an apartment building, the courtyard of which was filled with cats, and for the first 14 years of my life, there were moments when we had up to 16 cats running around our basements, attics, gardens, and our apartments. We watched them being born, we fed them, and we played with them. They were a natural element of our lives. When I grew up and moved out of my hometown, 2 other cats showed up in my life to stay with me for more than 20 years. When I moved out of the UK, more cats started showing up, and this situation lasts to this day. It goes without saying that I've always been a cat person and I prefer them to dogs, which I always considered to be less intelligent. Only recently I realized that I might be right. It turns out that cats have twice as many neurons in their cerebral cortex as dogs, almost 300 million of them. This allows them to think in the same pattern as humans do, and it is partially so due to similarity of their neural transmitters. Cats and humans have an overall comparable brain structure, and cats' brain is 90% similar to humans. We have nearly identical sections of the brain that control emotion. For me, there was always something very metaphysical about cats, and it was not just me who thought that. Ancient Egyptians worshipped cats, and to them they were symbols of divinity. Throughout history, cats were associated with witchcraft and mysticism. In Japan, to this day, these animals are believed to turn into powerful spirits when they die. In fact, 1/3 of all the cat owners, like me, have the unexplained sensation that cats can communicate with them telepathically. It seems that cats have created this bizarre symbiotic relationship with humans that is not only about keeping each other company. We all love to stroke cats and watch them enjoy it, and I recently found out why. Cats have the power to heal themselves by purring at a frequency of between 25 and 150 Hz, which happens to be the frequency at which muscles and bones grow and repair themselves. Owning a cat is beneficial for human health as it can reduce the risk of a heart attack or a stroke by 30%. When preparing for this video, I was shocked to find out that cats don't meow to each other. In fact, they stay away from other cats, avoiding potential confrontation. Once they grow up, cats make around 100 different sounds and they use them exclusively to talk to humans. Cats recognize individual voices and they change the sounds they make depending on how they want to influence our behavior. In fact, they see us as big, hairless cats that need feeding and training. This is why they bring us dead animals in the middle of the night. They can hear 3 times as much as humans do, as their frequency goes up to 64 kHz. They have the ability to see in the darkness, and they can even detect cancer in humans. That might explain their sense of superiority over us. Although there are more than 500 million domestic cats in the world, I don't think we can say that we understand them. But on my last mushroom trip a few weeks ago, I finally experienced something that gave me a clear explanation as to what these animals are, and I want to share it with you now. In the middle of my trip, when I was slowly slipping into a dark dimension of low-frequency entities, I suddenly felt the presence of another machine elf above me, and I realized that it is pulling me out of that realm. I instantly recognized this entity as a cat that I've known since it was a few months old. It has been in my life for more than a year, and in that moment it was actually running somewhere outside my house as I had seen it out the window right before I took mushrooms. This particular cat had a form of an upside-down hat made of clouds, and as always, it's difficult to explain why it looked like that, but it was clearly the cat that I know, because we had an instant telepathic connection. Although it's a female cat here on Earth, it came to me as a male energy being, and you need to know that it's something all souls do, not only cats. Once it helped me get out of this dark dimension, it connected with me and I instantly learned about its purpose. It turns out that cats are on a mission here and their job is to observe us and report on our behavior. They appear in our lives as animals because apparently in that form we don't treat them as equal to us. We can be ourselves in their presence, revealing without any inhibitions who we truly are, and we can show our natural behavior. They come to this reality as journalists, and they are very busy working and submitting elaborate reports on our behavior to another dimension. I don't know where these reports are being sent to. Cats sleep for 70% of their lives, but I was shown that they are interdimensional travelers, and although we see them very often as lazy, the truth is that they work really hard all the time, and they seem to take their job seriously. The next time you see a sleeping cat, you need to understand they're actually at work. They're interested in what we say and how we behave, but much more important is their relationship with us, and our behavior towards them is actually a clear indication as to who we really are deep inside emotionally. And that's what they're interested in, and that's what they need to report when they send out messages interacting with us. If you remember from my previous videos, something similar happened to me a few years ago when I received the alien warning message. I was staying in an apartment building in another city, and after I got the message from machine elves about our future, I was told to go downstairs and walk out the courtyard and grab leaves of a nearby bush. Once I did that, I felt like the plant was reading my mind and was reporting on my knowledge and behavior after receiving the messages from machine elves. Cats do the exact same thing, but 24 hours a day. That would explain why there's always at least one cat in my life checking on me and spending time with me. Although I personally never really owned a cat myself, they all come out of nowhere and appear in my life so that I can take care of them. It seems they're actually taking care of me. The cat that helped me on my trip spent some time with me, allowed me to learn everything I need to know about its presence on Earth, and then simply went back to work traveling between dimensions. The energy form of that entity felt very official. It was a formal interaction with it, as the hat/cloud/cat was very busy and preoccupied with the importance of the task it had been in charge of. Something like a highly devoted and dedicated office worker. Once I finished tripping, it turned out that my relationship with that cat in the physical world here has completely changed, and now it seems like we have this telepathic connection, letting me know where the cat usually is and what it wants. It appears that there is this mutual understanding of what happened on that trip, and we have a special bond with a special type of metaphysical connection between us. Most psychonauts know that there is something magical about cats' behavior during a trip, and for the longest time we didn't know what is going on with these animals. For years I've been listening to these stories from my friend Starpilot, someone you know very well, and when I told her about my trip report, I asked her if she would want to tell you about some of her insights, and here's what she had to say.
Hey, this is Starpilot 33 from the flight deck of the astral plane with some in-flight entertainment about cats and psychedelics. As you guys know, if you've checked out my channel and listened to any of my videos, I have some cats that like to trip with me. Specifically one cat who I call Co-Pilot Cat, but he chose that name for himself because he made it really clear on the first trips that he wanted to be involved, and he absolutely knew what was going on. Now, I've been tripping with animals in the house, whether it's my other two cats or a dog that I had for a while, since, well, the beginning, I guess, since 2011. And all of them, either didn't care, didn't really notice, or had limited interaction. I had one cat that would come and cuddle with me on the couch and was just affectionate in a way they aren't normally, so they could sense there was something going on. But then there's Co-Pilot Cat, who completely knew what's going on, wants to be involved, and actually took a role in several of my psychedelic experiences where he either played shaman, like knew when to help me out, when to let me battle it out myself. And in fact, he wants to be involved in this right now. I don't know if you can hear him purring into the microphone, but he's right here because he knows what's going on right now. What's amazing, I think, about cats, and specifically some cats seem like they're more in tune than others, is that they seem like they know when you're tripping. They look you right in the eyes and are like, oh, look at you, you're over here with me now. Like, yay, you're in my world. And one thing you gotta understand about Copilot Cat is that he's a feral. He was under my car, unapproachable, for about 7 or 8 years. And when he ended up in my house, it was because he got hurt and he needed to stay inside for his own safety. And so having a wild cat in the house was not something that anybody recommends you ever do. But when I decided to start tripping, I didn't know what he was going to do or how he was going to react. And I was surprised to find that his reaction was like joyful. Like he couldn't believe that I was there on the other side with him. And the bond that we developed because of this, I think, has allowed him to become, quote, domesticated faster or more than any feral cat should ever be able to be domesticated. Usually you cannot domesticate a feral cat, let alone take a feral cat from completely unapproachable to your best friend sitting right here with you on the table, going to the vet, going on long car rides, and just trusting you completely with their health, letting you put drops in their eyes and ears and everything like this one. It's just unheard of, and the vets agree too. He's like a superstar at the vet. So there is definitely something about tripping or psychedelic states and cats. They seem to know. And it's interesting in comparison to the dog that I had, who I think he knew what was going on, but it's like his role is something else in this reality, and he would just sleep and kind of keep an eye on me, but he would never interact with me directly. It was only when I interacted with him and was like, hey bud, you need to go pee or something like that, but he would never come and interact with me, not the way the cats do. Specifically, Copilot Cat. Like one time when he was still allowed to go outside, we went out together at night, and I'm, peeking on however many grams, and he was just so loving and jumping up in my lap and kissing my face and looking into my eyes and meowing. Like, this is a wild cat, guys. He's not tame, and he's looking in my eyes like, hey, I love this. I'm with you here in this amazing reality, and I'm so glad that we can talk now. And from then, that's when I called him my friend under the stars from that moment on. And with every trip, the bond has grown, and now we're a team. We're a flight crew. I mean, when it's go time, and he knows, and he's completely on board, and can't wait to help me out in any way he can. Also, another good example is when we had some bad stuff in the house on one of my trips, and if you dig back through some of my flight logs, you might find that one where we had some not so nice entities in the house. And amazingly, my other cat that's somewhat involved decided he was just going to sleep through it. I mean, we're talking evil was in the house. One cat, he just decided to sleep through the whole thing, didn't care, was completely unaffected by the presence of ultimate evil. The other two were fighting, and Copilot Cat was one of them, and he never fights with anybody. They were going after each other, completely acting bizarre, and they were so disturbed by the presence in the house. Copilot Cat just wanted to get the heck out of the house. He wanted me to let him out, and I finally did. But the other one was hissing and just acting completely out of character, and I was telling them, like, look, these guys are leaving. I'm getting them out of here. Just hang in there. But they completely understood and knew that something was going on. And I have this whole thing on recording too. I recorded the whole thing, so you can hear them hissing in the background and upset at the energy that was in that house. And this is something that does not happen normally. They get along just fine. They've learned to get along just fine. So there is something very, very real about cats and their ability to sense the energy that's that's tapped into when you're tripping, and I have no idea exactly what it is or what the scientific basis of it is, but from years of observing it, it's definitely real. Definitely real as this guy's purring is into the phone. Hopefully you can hear it. Yeah, that's Copilot Cat. Yeah. So, tripping with cats, it's a real thing. It's amazing. You should try it for yourself sometime. This is StarPilot33, signing off.
Visit Starpilot's YouTube channel if you want to hear more of her stories. After hearing all of this, I hope you understand why cats have had this divine status throughout history, why they appear so mystical and secretive, why our brains are similar to theirs, why they relax us, why they have a language they developed only for humans, and why they sleep most of their lives. Cats are psychedelic animals on an important mission here related to us humans, and now you know why they deserve our respect. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please say thank you by donating. All links in the video description. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and follow. Like this video and share it with everyone you care about. For merchandise, go to shop.b434.com. Leave your email address at news.b434.com. Visit the website of the artist and the musician I featured here. For more info or contact, visit b434.com and join 434's social media on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, Telegram, VK, TikTok, Tumblr, LinkedIn, Dailymotion, and a few other ones you can see on the screen now. All links in the video description and at b434.com.